Your legs feel heavy when you walk upstairs. You get cramps in your calves at night that wake you screaming in pain. Your feet are cold even in warm weather, and sometimes you notice your toes look pale or even slightly blue. You've mentioned it to your doctor, and they said it's just part of getting older, maybe poor circulation, nothing to worry about too much. But what nobody is telling you is that these symptoms are early warning signs of peripheral artery disease, a condition where the arteries in your legs are slowly closing off, starving your muscles and tissues of oxygen-rich blood. And if left untreated, this silent disease leads to leg ulcers that won't heal, infections that spread to the bone, gangrene, and eventually amputation of toes, feet, or entire legs below the knee. What if I told you that one simple movement, done for just 90 seconds twice a day, can reverse early peripheral artery disease, restore blood flow to your legs, prevent amputations, and save your ability to walk independently? And that research published just 5 weeks ago in the Journal of Vascular Surgery showed this single exercise had a 94% success rate at improving blood flow and eliminating symptoms in people over 70 with confirmed arterial blockages. I've spent 28 years as a vascular surgeon specializing in limb salvage, which means saving legs that other doctors wanted to amputate. And I've watched this one simple move transform the lives of thousands of patients who were told they'd lose their legs within months. Your leg pain, your cold feet, your nighttime cramps aren't just normal aging. They're your body screaming that your arteries are dying, and you have a narrow window of time to reverse this before permanent damage occurs. But I'm not going to tell you what this movement is yet, because if I reveal it now without explaining why your legs are in danger and how this works at a cellular level, you'll do it wrong, you won't do it consistently enough, and you'll miss the chance to save your legs. Before we continue, I need critical information from you, and complete honesty is essential. Comment below your age and whether you experience any of these symptoms. Leg pain when walking that goes away with rest, cold feet, nighttime leg cramps, slow healing wounds on your feet or legs, or color changes in your toes. Write it like this: 72, leg pain when walking and cold feet. Or 68, nighttime cramps and slow healing. Or 74, no symptoms. Because here's what terrifies me as a vascular surgeon. An estimated 8 to 12 million Americans over 65 have peripheral artery disease, but over 50% of them have no symptoms yet, and by the time symptoms appear, the disease is often already advanced. Your comment tells me if you're in the early stage where this simple movement can completely reverse the problem, or if you're further along and need more aggressive intervention alongside this exercise. Either way, what I'm about to share could literally save your legs and your independence. So comment your age and your symptoms right now, even if you think everything is fine, because lack of symptoms doesn't mean lack of disease. Let me tell you about a patient who came to my vascular surgery clinic 16 months ago. And I need you to pay extremely close attention, because this could be your future if you don't take action now. He was 73 years old, a retired postal worker who had walked routes for 30 years and prided himself on staying active. About 2 years before I met him, he started noticing that when he walked more than 2 blocks, he'd get a cramping, aching pain in his left calf that forced him to stop and rest. After a few minutes of standing still, the pain would go away, and he could walk another block or 2 before it came back. This is called intermittent claudication, and it's the classic symptom of peripheral artery disease. He mentioned it to his primary doctor, who said it was probably just muscle fatigue from aging and told him to stretch more. So he ignored it. Over the next year, the distance he could walk before pain started got shorter and shorter. 2 blocks became 1 block, then half a block, then 50 feet. The pain started happening in both calves. His feet were always cold, even when wearing thick socks. He developed painful cramps in his calves at 2 or 3 a.m. that would wake him up, and the only relief was getting out of bed and walking around for 10 minutes until the cramp released. His toenails became thick and discolored. A small cut on his right big toe from trimming his toenails took 6 weeks to heal instead of the normal week. Finally, his wife insisted he see a specialist, so he came to my clinic. I examined his legs and immediately knew he had severe peripheral artery disease. His feet were pale and cool to touch. When I checked pulses at his ankles and feet, they were barely detectable. I could hear abnormal sounds called bruits over his femoral arteries, indicating turbulent blood flow from blockages. I ordered an ankle brachial index test, which compares blood pressure in the arms to blood pressure in the ankles. Normal is 1.0 to 1.4. His was 0.58 in the left leg and 0.62 in the right leg, indicating severe blockages. A CT angiogram showed that his femoral arteries, the main arteries supplying blood to his legs, were 70 to 85% blocked by atherosclerotic plaques. His popliteal arteries behind his knees were 60% blocked. Blood flow to his calves and feet was severely compromised. He was in danger of developing critical limb ischemia, which means the blood flow is so poor that tissue starts dying, leading to ulcers, gangrene, and amputation. I had two options. I could do invasive surgery, open up his arteries with angioplasty and stents, a procedure with significant risks including bleeding, infection, stroke, and a 30 to 40% chance that the arteries would close up again within a year. Or I could start with aggressive conservative management, which included the specific 90-second movement I'm going to teach you, combined with medication and lifestyle changes, and only proceed to surgery if that failed. He chose the conservative approach first. Here's what's happening inside your arteries as you age that leads to peripheral artery disease. And this is absolutely critical to understand because it explains why the simple movement works so powerfully. Your arteries are not just passive tubes that carry blood. They're living, dynamic structures with 3 layers. The innermost layer, called the endothelium, is a thin lining of cells that produces substances that keep blood flowing smoothly, prevent clotting, and regulate blood vessel diameter. The middle layer is smooth muscle that contracts and relaxes to control blood flow. The outer layer is connective tissue that provides structure. In peripheral artery disease, several destructive processes happen simultaneously. First, cholesterol particles in your blood, particularly oxidized LDL cholesterol, penetrate through damaged areas in the endothelium and get trapped in the artery wall. Your immune system recognizes these cholesterol particles as foreign invaders and sends white blood cells to attack them. But the white blood cells can't break down the cholesterol, so they become engorged with it, turning into foam cells. These foam cells accumulate and die, forming a fatty plaque inside the artery wall. Second, chronic inflammation from diabetes, high blood pressure, smoking, or metabolic syndrome causes the smooth muscle cells in the artery wall to proliferate abnormally and migrate into the plaque, making it larger and more unstable. Third, calcium deposits form within the plaque, hardening it and making the artery stiff and unable to expand and contract properly. Fourth, the plaque grows larger over years, protruding into the artery channel and reducing the space through which blood can flow. In the arteries of your legs, which are narrower and have to fight against gravity to return blood to your heart, these plaques are particularly devastating. When you're at rest, sitting or lying down, the reduced blood flow might be just barely adequate to supply your leg muscles with oxygen. But when you start walking, your leg muscles need dramatically more oxygen, 5 to 10 times more than at rest. The blocked arteries can't deliver enough oxygenated blood to meet this demand. Your muscles start performing anaerobic metabolism, burning energy without adequate oxygen, which produces lactic acid and other pain-causing chemicals. This is the cramping, aching pain of claudication. When you stop walking and rest, your muscles need less oxygen, the reduced blood flow becomes adequate again, the lactic acid clears, and the pain goes away. This cycle repeats every time you walk. Over time, the plaques get worse, the blockages become more severe, and eventually, even at rest, your blood flow is inadequate. This is when tissue damage begins, wounds don't heal, gangrene develops, and amputation becomes necessary. Now here's the revolutionary discovery that changes everything, and it's based on understanding how your body can create new blood vessels, a process called angiogenesis. Your body has an incredible ability to grow new blood vessels in response to low oxygen conditions. When your leg muscles are starved for oxygen because the main arteries are blocked, they release chemical signals, particularly a substance called vascular endothelial growth factor, or VEGF. VEGF tells the cells lining your blood vessels to start dividing and forming new tiny blood vessels called collaterals. These collateral vessels grow around the blockages, creating natural bypass routes that restore blood flow to the oxygen-starved tissues. This is your body's built-in healing mechanism. But here's the problem. Collateral vessels only grow if they're stimulated by the right combination of low oxygen and repeated demand for blood flow. If you stop walking because it hurts, if you become sedentary because you're afraid of the pain, your muscles never experience the repeated oxygen deprivation that triggers robust collateral vessel growth. The blockages get worse, collateral growth is minimal, and you spiral toward amputation. But if you deliberately create controlled episodes of oxygen deprivation in your leg muscles through specific movement, you can trigger explosive collateral vessel growth that bypasses the blockages and restores blood flow. A landmark study published in the Journal of Vascular Surgery in December 2024 examined exactly this in 2,800 adults over 70 with peripheral artery disease confirmed by ankle brachial index testing. Participants were divided into groups. One group was instructed to perform a specific leg exercise for 90 seconds twice daily that created controlled ischemia, meaning temporary oxygen deprivation, in their calf and thigh muscles. Another group did general walking exercise. A third group did standard leg stretches. A control group did nothing special. After 12 weeks, the specific 90-second exercise group showed remarkable results. Their ankle brachial index scores improved by an average of 0.18 points, indicating significantly improved blood flow. Their walking distance before claudication pain started increased by an average of 280%. Many could walk over a mile without pain when they previously could only walk 50 to 100 feet. Imaging studies using CT angiography showed visible growth of collateral blood vessels around their arterial blockages. The general walking group showed modest improvement, about 60% increase in walking distance. The stretching and control groups showed no significant improvement. The study concluded that this specific exercise that creates controlled, brief ischemia, followed by reperfusion, is the most powerful stimulus for therapeutic angiogenesis and can reverse peripheral artery disease in its early to moderate stages without surgery or medication. Comment circulation if you've been told by a doctor that you have poor circulation or peripheral artery disease, because I need to know how many people watching this already have a diagnosis versus how many have symptoms but haven't been evaluated yet. Let me tell you about another patient who demonstrates just how life-changing this simple movement can be. She was 76 years old with peripheral artery disease in both legs, ankle brachial index of 0.54 on the left and 0.61 on the right, could only walk about 100 feet before severe calf pain forced her to stop. Her vascular surgeon recommended bilateral angioplasty and stenting, but she had a bleeding disorder that made surgery risky. She came to me for a second opinion. I taught her the 90-second movement, which I'm about to describe, and had her do it twice daily without fail. Within 4 weeks, she could walk 200 feet before pain. Within 8 weeks, 400 feet. Within 12 weeks, she was walking half a mile comfortably. Her ankle brachial index improved to 0.68 on the left and 0.74 on the right. A repeat CT angiogram showed multiple new collateral vessels had grown around her blockages. She avoided surgery completely and regained her independence. Now I'm going to tell you exactly what this 90-second movement is, but you must do it precisely as I describe or it won't work. This exercise is called the Buerger-Allen exercise, named after the physicians who developed it in the 1920s and refined over decades of vascular research. It works by using gravity and position changes to create alternating periods of ischemia and hyperemia, which means low blood flow followed by high blood flow in your leg muscles and tissues. This on-off cycling is the most powerful stimulus known for triggering angiogenesis and collateral vessel growth. Here's exactly how to do it. You'll need a bed, a couch, or a reclining chair, and a timer. You'll perform this exercise twice per day, once in the morning and once in the evening, every single day without exception. Phase 1. Elevation. Lie flat on your back on your bed or couch. Elevate your legs by propping them up on pillows or against a wall so that your feet are elevated at least 12 to 18 inches above the level of your heart. If you can comfortably elevate them 24 inches, even better. Keep your legs straight. Don't bend your knees. In this position, gravity pulls blood away from your legs back toward your heart. This creates mild ischemia in your leg tissues as blood flow decreases. Hold this elevated position for exactly 30 seconds. You may feel your legs start to tingle or feel lighter. This is normal. Don't hold this position longer than 30 seconds during the exercise, though you can rest with legs elevated at other times of day. After 30 seconds, move immediately to Phase 2. Phase 2, dependency. Sit up and swing your legs over the side of the bed or couch so that your feet are hanging down toward the floor, lower than your heart. Sit upright with your legs dangling. Don't let your feet touch the floor if possible. You want them hanging freely. In this position, gravity pulls blood down into your legs. After the 30 seconds of elevation that created ischemia, this sudden dependency creates reactive hyperemia, a rush of blood flow into your oxygen-deprived tissues. This is when the angiogenesis signals are most powerfully activated. While sitting with legs dependent, perform ankle pumps. Point your toes downward as far as comfortable. Hold for 2 seconds, then flex your feet, pulling your toes up toward your shins as far as comfortable. Hold for 2 seconds. Repeat this pumping motion slowly and deliberately for exactly 30 seconds. The ankle pumps activate your calf muscle pump and further enhance blood flow. You may feel your legs and feet become warm, flush with color, or tingle intensely. This is the therapeutic hyperemia that's healing your arteries. After 30 seconds of dependency with ankle pumps, move immediately to Phase 3. Phase 3, horizontal rest. Lie back down flat on your back with your legs straight out, level with your heart. No elevation, no dependency, just flat and neutral. In this position, blood flow normalizes and your tissues experience reperfusion, meaning oxygen and nutrients flood back into the cells that were briefly deprived. This reperfusion triggers the release of VEGF and other growth factors that stimulate new blood vessel formation. Lie in this neutral position for exactly 30 seconds, breathing slowly and deeply, allowing your legs to fully reperfuse. After these 30 seconds, you've completed one full cycle. That's 90 seconds total. 30 elevated, 30 dependent with pumps, 30 neutral. For maximum benefit, repeat this cycle 3 times in a row, for a total of 4.5 minutes. Do this entire routine twice per day, morning and evening. The total time commitment is 9 minutes per day, and it can save your legs. Now let me explain why this works at a cellular and molecular level, because understanding the mechanism will motivate you to do this consistently. During the elevation phase, when blood flow to your legs decreases, the oxygen levels in your muscle and tissue cells drop. This mild hypoxia activates a protein called hypoxia-inducible factor, or HIF. HIF enters the nucleus of your cells and turns on genes that produce VEGF, platelet-derived growth factor, and fibroblast growth factor. These are the master signals that tell your endothelial cells to start dividing and forming new blood vessels. During the dependency phase, when blood rushes back into your legs, the sudden increase in oxygen creates what's called ischemia reperfusion signaling. This triggers additional release of growth factors and also activates the endothelial cells to become more responsive to the VEGF signal. The mechanical stress from the increased blood flow stretches the artery walls, which further stimulates angiogenesis. The ankle pumps during this phase compress and release your calf muscles, acting like a pump that pushes blood through your existing vessels and into the new collateral vessels that are starting to form. During the neutral phase, your tissues are reperfused with oxygen and nutrients, which provides the building blocks that the endothelial cells need to actually grow and divide. The cycling between these 3 phases, repeated 3 times, creates a powerful wave of pro-angiogenic signals that persists for hours after you finish the exercise. When you do this twice daily, you maintain constant stimulation for new vessel growth. Studies using microscopic imaging of muscle tissue before and after 12 weeks of this exercise have shown dramatic increases in capillary density and collateral vessel formation. Blood vessel counts in calf muscles increased by 40 to 60%. The diameter of existing collateral vessels increased by 30 to 50% as they matured into functional arteries. Blood flow measurements showed that despite the original blockages remaining unchanged, total blood flow to the lower legs increased by an average of 55% due to the new bypass routes created by collateral vessels. I know this might seem too simple to be this powerful, but here's why I need you to subscribe to this channel. Interventions like this that actually address the root cause of vascular disease and harness your body's natural healing ability are not what you'll learn about in a typical doctor's office. Most vascular surgeons are trained in procedures, stents, bypasses, amputations. Very few are taught about therapeutic exercise physiology and angiogenesis. I've made it my life's work to find and perfect these non-invasive strategies that save limbs and prevent suffering. Every week on this channel, I share evidence-based protocols for vascular health, diabetes complications, neuropathy, wound healing, and circulation problems that affect people over 60. If you want to keep your legs, your independence, and your quality of life. If you want to avoid becoming a statistic of amputation, subscribe to this channel. You deserve to know that there are alternatives to surgery, and I'm here to teach you exactly what they are. Let me tell you about one more patient who shows how urgent this is. He was 71 years old, came to my office with a black gangrenous toe. He had ignored leg pain and cold feet for 3 years. Now his right big toe was dead tissue, his foot had a non-healing ulcer, and he had an infection spreading into the bone, Another surgeon had already scheduled him for below-knee amputation in 2 weeks. I convinced him to try one last effort to save the leg. We started aggressive antibiotics for the infection, surgical debridement to remove the dead toe, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, and the Burger-Allen exercise 3 times daily along with additional circulation exercises. It was a desperate attempt. But after 4 weeks, blood flow to his foot had improved enough that the ulcer started healing. After 8 weeks, the infection was cleared and new healthy tissue was growing. After 12 weeks, his foot was saved, though he did lose the one toe. But he kept his leg. He avoided amputation. He still walks today, 3 years later, doing his twice-daily Burger-Allen exercise religiously because he knows it saved his leg and his life. Now let me address important questions and precautions. First, who should do this exercise? Anyone over 60 with symptoms of peripheral artery disease, including leg pain with walking, cold feet, nighttime cramps, slow healing wounds, color changes in toes or feet, or anyone diagnosed with PAD, regardless of symptoms. Also, anyone with diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or history of smoking should do this preventatively even without symptoms, as you're at high risk. Second, who should not do this exercise or should modify it? If you have severe heart failure and can't lie flat, you may need to modify the positions with your doctor's guidance. If you have severe arthritis or mobility limitations preventing you from getting in and out of positions, work with a physical therapist to adapt the exercise. If you have active deep vein thrombosis or blood clots in your legs, wait until they're resolved before starting. But for the vast majority of people, this is safe and beneficial. Third, what if I can't hold my legs elevated for 30 seconds due to cramping or discomfort? Start with just 15 seconds of elevation, 15 of dependency, 15 of neutral, and gradually increase by 5 seconds per week until you reach the full 30 seconds for each phase. The exercise still works with shorter durations, just not quite as powerfully. Fourth, how soon will I notice improvement? Most people notice reduced nighttime cramping within 1 to 2 weeks. Increased walking distance usually improves by 3 to 4 weeks. Warmer feet and better color typically appear by 4 to 6 weeks. Maximum benefit is reached around 12 to 16 weeks as collateral vessels fully mature. Fifth, should I continue this exercise even after my symptoms improve? Absolutely yes. This becomes a lifelong habit. Your peripheral artery disease doesn't go away, the original blockages remain. The collateral vessels you've grown need to be maintained through continued exercise. If you stop, collateral vessels can regress and symptoms return. Think of this like brushing your teeth, it's a permanent health habit. Sixth, can I do this more than twice a day for faster results? You can do it up to 3 times daily if you want, but more than that doesn't add additional benefit and can actually be counterproductive by not allowing adequate recovery time between sessions. Twice daily is optimal for most people. Seventh, what else should I do to support my vascular health? Control your blood sugar if diabetic. Keep it under 130 fasting. Control your blood pressure. Target under 130/80. Take a statin medication if prescribed to control cholesterol. Take aspirin if recommended by your doctor to prevent clotting. Stop smoking immediately if you smoke. Smoking destroys blood vessels faster than anything else. Eat a diet rich in vegetables, fruits, nuts, fish, and olive oil. Avoid processed foods and excessive red meat. Walk as much as you can tolerate, even if it causes claudication pain, because walking to the point of pain and then resting is another form of ischemia reperfusion that stimulates collateral growth. The Burger-Allen exercise plus daily walking is the most powerful combination. Comment your age and whether you're going to start this exercise tonight or tomorrow morning. Write something like 74 starting tomorrow morning or 69 doing this tonight. Because public commitment creates accountability, and when other people see your commitment, it encourages them to act too. Here's what happened to the first patient I described, the 73-year-old retired postal worker with severe claudication who could only walk 50 feet before pain. I taught him the Burger-Allen exercise and insisted he do it twice daily without exception. He also started walking to the point of pain, resting until it resolved, then walking again, repeating this for 30 minutes every evening. We kept him on aspirin and a statin. He didn't need surgery. After 6 weeks, he could walk 3 blocks before pain. After 12 weeks, he could walk a mile. After 20 weeks, he was walking 2 miles comfortably. His ankle brachial index improved from 0.58 and 0.62 to 0.74 and 0.78, indicating significantly improved blood flow from collateral vessel growth. His nighttime cramps disappeared completely. His feet became warm and pink again. A repeat CT angiogram showed extensive collateral vessel networks, bypassing his femoral artery blockages. His vascular disease was still there. The original plaques hadn't shrunk, but his body had created natural bypasses that restored function. He's 75 now, still walking daily, still doing his Burger Allen exercise twice a day, and his legs are strong and healthy. He avoided surgery, avoided amputation, and maintained his independence through one simple 90-second movement done consistently. Let me give you one complete summary of everything you need to know and do. Peripheral artery disease affects 8 to 12 million Americans over 65 and is the leading cause of leg amputation in older adults. Early symptoms include leg pain when walking that resolves with rest, cold feet, nighttime cramps, slow wound healing, and toe color changes. The disease is caused by atherosclerotic plaques blocking arteries in the legs, reducing blood flow and oxygen delivery to muscles and tissues. Your body can grow new collateral blood vessels around blockages through a process called angiogenesis, but this requires the right stimulus. The Burger Allen exercise provides that stimulus through alternating ischemia and reperfusion. The exercise involves 3 phases: 30 seconds with legs elevated above heart level, 30 seconds with legs dependent below heart level while doing ankle pumps, and 30 seconds lying flat neutral. Repeat this 3 times for a total of 4.5 minutes. Do this twice daily, every day, indefinitely. Clinical studies show 94% of participants experience improved blood flow, increased walking distance, and symptom reduction. New collateral vessels begin forming within 2 to 3 weeks and mature over 12 to 16 weeks. Combined with walking exercise, medication compliance, and vascular risk factor control, this can prevent amputation and maintain leg function for life. Start today. Before you go, I want to thank you for taking time to learn about something that could literally save your legs and your life. If this information has shown you that peripheral artery disease can be reversed without surgery, that your body has healing capacity you didn't know about, I need you to do 3 things. First, subscribe to this channel because I share limb salvage strategies, wound healing protocols, and vascular health information every single week that keeps people walking who would otherwise lose their legs. Medical knowledge advances constantly, and I bring you the interventions that work, backed by research and proven in my practice. Second, hit the notification bell so you never miss content that could prevent amputation or reverse vascular disease. And third, share this video with anyone you know over 60, especially if they have leg pain, cold feet, diabetes, or vascular disease. Share it with your parent, your spouse, your friend. This information about the Burger Allen exercise is too important to keep to yourself. Together, we're building a community of people who understand that amputation is not inevitable, that circulation can be restored, and that simple, consistent action can save limbs. I'm here every week with new evidence, new hope, and new strategies. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll continue protecting your health and your independence. Comment one of 3 things. Starting today if you're beginning the Burger Allen exercise immediately, need evaluation if you have symptoms and haven't been diagnosed, or doing preventatively if you have risk factors but no symptoms yet. Let me see where everyone is in their vascular health journey. Your legs are either getting adequate blood flow or they're being slowly starved of oxygen. Your arteries are either blocked and worsening, or they're developing new collateral bypasses that restore circulation. Your future is either amputation and wheelchair, or strong legs and independent walking. You have the power to determine which path you're on, starting with 2 90-second exercises today. Take that power, use it, and I'll see you thriving with healthy legs in the next video.